Hi there. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you had a great holiday season. I think we're still in it technically, but hopefully it's calmer for you right now, and you had some good time connecting with people and enjoying whatever holiday you celebrate, however you celebrate it. And so, what I thought I'd do today is talk about the energy of 2018 and then rolling into 2019. Obviously, you've already been in 2018, so you've experienced your own process and whatever that looked like to you. I feel like this year, the December's a little bumpy. It's challenging to leave a year in any year. It's not just that it's the 2018 year. It's challenging any year as we wrap up. And it's not so much that it's a calendar year. It's that there is an energy that happens with the seasons. And, we go into some hibernation, and there's just a lot of factors there. And I think our brain associates it with the physical calendar and somehow wants to make it about endings and beginnings, but there's that old cliche that there are no beginnings without endings. I happen to think that they all roll in a circle. And it's kind of like the recycling symbol, and things keep moving around. And as challenging as that can be, that's life. So I was running today on the treadmill and thinking about this and like, what was I going to say? Because I don't plan them out specifically. I'd love for you to ask questions so I can roll off of that at some point. But I was just kind of mulling it over, thinking, what am I going to talk about? And I knew it was going to be about the energy of 2019, but how was I going to do that? And as I was running, I had Pandora playing, and Seasons of Love from Rent came on, and it's the song that's 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year? And I was thinking, well, that's perfect. Thank you, guides, for helping me out on that. Because how do you measure this year? Is it in the moments that were exhilarating and the ones that were a little bit more challenging? Is it in the moments that were so calm and that maybe you didn't even notice them? And I hope you had quite a few of those where it could be peaceful for you. 2019, as it comes in energetically, is ushering in. It starts actually in late November. It doesn't just show up in January, but this year really is going to be, we're going to have a visitor today. Say hi. Hello. So 2019's energy started rolling around in the end of 2018, and that can make the holidays and all of our end of November and through December feel just a little bit cluttered. It's not all the junk that people bought. It's that the energy gets cluttered as one's leaving, one's coming in. Okay, so the energy of 2019 is about accountability. And listen, you can make changes every day. We don't have to wait for January 1st or for your birthday or for some special anniversary to make any changes. You can do that at any point. And I used to do these energy reports years ago, energy alerts, and they were more a heads up kind of thing. And I decided this year, who the heck am I to tell you what kind of year you'll have? That's up to you. That is absolutely up to you what you'll do with any energy that's around. Whether someone calls it supportive or not, it doesn't matter. It's how you process it and how you see a situation and what are you going to do with it. So 2019 does have an energy of accountability. If you aren't already in that place within yourself, then yeah, it might feel a little bit challenging. And it doesn't have to be difficult to arrive in accountability. You can simply take some time and look at what isn't working in your life, what would you like to shift, and what can you do about it. I mean, I probably sound like a broken record, but that's really what it's about. It's the fundamental practices of being human. So look at what is the part of your world that needs some changing, and realize there's no magic wand in any of this. There's no magic wand through healing. There's no words that we can say that can just close up a boo-boo. It just doesn't work that way. And while that may sound tough or rough, it's honest. And if you can allow yourself to be in that space of understanding that there isn't anything happening that's happening for the punishment of you, unless you broke the law, and then, you know what, be accountable for that too. So the year energy is about accountability, but to be clear, this year doesn't owe you anything. It's a year. It's days strung together. It's 525,600 minutes created, lumped together like a bunch of atoms that we are, to help you decide in any given moment if you would like to shift how you've been living. And if you are conscious enough, you'll ask the questions, and you'll wonder, what could you shift? If you don't know what's, like, sometimes you feel conflicted, or you feel sad or upset or frustrated, or any of those other vibrational frequencies, and you don't know, well, then ask somebody if they have any insight. Ask somebody kind, ask somebody who genuinely wants to help and genuinely wants to see you happy. Don't go asking anybody who wants to poke at your wounds, because there are people who exist like that, and that's just not nice. So there isn't instant manifestation. This isn't, mashed potatoes, flakes. You have to put a little bit of effort into this, and it'll go out throughout the year. If you're someone who buries your head in the sand and you ignore what's going on around you, 2019 might not be your favorite year, because it has a push to it. It has a kind of like when you're walking with a kid and they're dragging their feet and they're scuffing the boots and all of that kind of stuff. I used to say to my kids, pick them up. But they're doing all of that kind of stuff, and you have to put your hand at their back to get them to motor a little bit. Well, that's 2019's energy. There's going to be this hand at your back pushing you, and sometimes with a little bit of oomph to get your buns moving. And that may be because you're ignoring any kind of sign or any kind of indication of what could and needs to be shifted in your life. So the circumstances that are likely to show up are those, because we're so blessedly good at paying attention to conflict rather than putting our focus on what's working well and then following that route. You may see some conflict in there that helps to bring your awareness. So when something is happening, the brilliant question of what is this trying to teach me is a really good one. Sometimes a flat tire is a flat tire. You ran something over. But I feel like if we look at the circumstances that are in our lives that feel a bit rough, and ask, what's the lesson in this? What can I learn? I don't believe there's a test. I don't think we're being tested at all. I think we are asking ourselves to see how much we can grow, and within that, there might be some feelings of conflict that we then relate to tests. Probably because when we were in school, we, didn't always appreciate test day. So it could be a health thing that you have to look at, could be a job situation. It may be a relationship that you're in, platonic or otherwise, that has you questioning, who are you as a person? Because we can learn a lot from those around us if we're willing to pay attention. So the thing I hear a lot when, challenging energy comes up is people say, well, I just don't like confrontation. Well, who the hell does? Unless you've got an anger issue, nobody really likes confrontation. But I'm going to challenge you in this year to stop using that lame, what excuse. It's not that you don't like confrontation, it's that you don't know yourself well enough, perhaps, that you don't know where you stand. Maybe you don't know what your beliefs are yet, and you need to take some time to spend with yourself to figure out what those beliefs are, so that when you're communicating with someone, you can hold your ground and you can do it in a very respectful way. And then it's not confrontation. It's, maybe a conversation you made too big in your head, and you think it's going to be confrontation because you didn't bother to factor in that the other person might actually be willing to listen. So don't get in a confrontation with 2019. Don't do it, because the energy of accountability is going to push back. So if you create a force energy of pushing against something, there has to be an equal resistance that happens. And you can do it that way. I mean, see how it works for you. It might build up some good leg strength or something, but I wouldn't recommend it, because the process of each year's growth, right? Every year that we go through, every year that you're blessed to be here in physical form, is a year that you can put forth some good energy and put forth an effort to raise your own vibration. And if you're not doing that, you're gypping yourself. You really are. And, I feel like there's more of an inclination within people to learn, and that's exciting to me, about how they can be their most inclusive, high vibrational self. It is not always easy. It's freaking challenging to be human. It hurts to be human even. But that's not a punishment. That's a reward in and of itself. The hurt can be there. The expression must be there. We have to let it out. But there can be an equal amount and even a greater amount of joy in appreciating how you come through something. So begin to develop the tools. If you aren't all that savvy in dealing with your own accountability, that could be your financial situation. It may be that you need to learn how to ask for things. Gina, that push started a while ago, didn't it? And Deb, I love that you lean into, as the expression is, the challenges that show up, because we do grow from them, don't we? It's been a fascinating 3 years for both of us. And so I hope that for everyone on the planet, whether you're listening or not, I hope that you look at your own strengths and you see 2019 as an opportunity to build on whatever you created in 2018. And if there are things left over from, hey, 2012, 13, come on up. Look at them now. What are you going to do? Wait until we're talking 2020 and then, lament over the fact that it's been another year? That's a waste of your life. And if you simply agree to move thy arse and to move your energy, that alone will be huge in this next year. And you have to be honest with yourself of what's working and what's not working. Accountability has always been here. It's one of those things that'll never go out of style. And it feels really good to hold on to that. And it leads us into a place of knowing who we are. And then that connects us to the divine. And then that helps us to feel surrounded by support. And support is really important. So as we wrap up 2018, shout out to all those who made their transition in this year. And you know that I firmly believe that we need to celebrate that they've completed their contract. And yeah, hurts big time. We have one going on in our family right now. So, but be there for that energy of it. Appreciate the fact that through the pain, there's love. And there's always love existing in everything that we do. And there can be love in accountability. And there can be an even greater sense of love for self and others when you know yourself so well that you're unflappable with whatever's going on in life. That doesn't mean you don't feel it. It simply means that you trust that the happy will come back around. So I wish you all the best in the closing of this year. Take time to really appreciate the moments that were there and what you've learned from them. I'm so grateful to all of you, and give everybody a hug. Those hugs are healing, and I will see you next year. Take care.